Hey guys, Joe here doing a pickup video, a totally unintended one, but sometimes the fates look down upon me and say, you know what, you're not a total loser and I'm going to give you some stuff. If you're new to the channel, check out some of my other stuff. I do a little bit of everything on this channel, including guns, tech, cars, commentaries, not as much, but a little bit, and some other stuff. Feel free to subscribe to get notified of when stuff comes out. There's over 700 videos on this channel. Hopefully you can find something you like. This kind of goes into two of those subjects, and that is deal hunting, and tech. So buckle up. It's going to be a bit of a long one because there's a lot of little stuff. I'm not going to take everything out, but I'm going to show you the things that are pertinent. If you check out this advertisement I saw on Craigslist, I saw this and I was like, wow, this is like 10 days old and it says 15 bucks. So what the hell's going on? So I emailed it because Craigslist, nobody uses their phone numbers, which is fine. I don't like to use it either, but it has sold some things for me that way. And about an hour or two later, I get an email back from the guy because he was at work. He got home, saw my email, responded. Great. It was a little bit too late for me to go out there yesterday for me when I'm filming this. So we arranged to meet today. And I gave him my number. We started texting. I'm like, so you still have everything? He's like, yeah, it's all here. Come and grab it. I got to get rid of it all. No big deal. So today for me, when I'm filming this, it'll be, I don't know how many days ago when you finally see this, I went over to his place. I'm always early. I'm a little bit early. Always. Usually. Most of the time. Sometimes. So I went over to his house. Nice enough guy. Looked like he was selling his house. Must be why he's getting rid of a bunch of stuff. And he answered the door and he's like, yep, that's what it is. So I didn't have any change, so I gave him a $20 bill. I'm fine with that, especially when you see all the extras I got in this. And I said, here's 20 bucks. I'm not even going to worry about the 5 bucks. He's like, cool. We talked for a minute and I was like, how is this stuff still here? And he said, I had like 5 or 6 people say they wanted it and nobody showed up. And I'm sitting there going, why wouldn't anybody show up? The only reason why people would bail on it is because I had to wait until he was done with work today to meet him. So it was like 7:30 at night. And you know how a lot of people are with their instant gratification problem. And I have it to a point. When I'm thinking I really want something, if I buy it right away, I'm good. If I don't, it kind of wears off. But I went over there, picked all this stuff up, he loaded it up in my car, and we're going to take a look at the smaller stuff first, and I'm going to set the big stuff here on the desk. If you saw the post I put up yesterday, you would have seen what I got, but let's go into it in a little bit of detail. Now it was a large box of random junk. I'm just going to take some of the stuff out. There was a processor in there. It's just an Athlon 64X2, but hey, free Athlon if I ever need one for testing purposes. But inside the box was also some mounting hardware for a Thermaltake Spin Q. It's like a tower style cooler for your CPU. So this was actually installed on an AMD in here, but I took it out and I'll use both mounting brackets because then I can have testing for Intel and AMD with a semi-decent cooler. I mean, it's all aluminum or chromed, but I've heard these things actually do okay, so I'll have to test that out and see how it goes. Even has its fan controller there, so that's good for testing purposes. So just that alone is probably worth, 10 bucks, 15 bucks. I was going to order a cheap cooler off of Amazon or AliExpress, so I would have spent like 15 bucks, so that pays for everything right there. Case, there we go. This is a Rosewill dual band PCIe wireless adapter. It's the AC1200 model, so it's not quite as sought after, but it still sells for $10 to $15, and that's what I'll do. I'm not going to keep any of these wireless cards. This is worth like 5 bucks. If I get 5 bucks, I'll be happy with it. I don't care. Just going to go in a box of random tech until I need it. Couple of brand new unused tubes of thermal compound. Arctic Silver 5 is normally like 7 or 8 bucks, and this is like 8 or 10 bucks. So again, right there, between that and all that, and all the systems I build, this is paying for everything right there. And I didn't have to drive all the way to Alexandria or Fairfax to get it. So that's really awesome. Some extra heat sinks. I think they came out of the systems that are in the cases. They're the factory style ones. Again, whatever. I don't really care. Although if I do start melting aluminum and copper, I've got a ton of slugs and aluminum to melt. DVI to HDMI adapter. Those are like 6, 7 bucks a piece, so they're good to have. The key to one of the cases. It's actually got 2 keys. And a Netgear wireless 2.4 5G adapter. I have an Asus one that's sitting on my HTPC right now, so it's always good to have these. and a extended base. Now these are USB 3 for optimal performance, however they do work in USB 2.0 obviously. But because it's complete with the cable and stuff, that's worth about 20 bucks. May sell it, may keep it. It's one of those things I wasn't expecting, so it's nice to have. A wireless keyboard without the dongle, however it just uses your standard Logitech wireless dongle, so I'll try to find one of those just for when I'm working on the secondary systems. An older, it's called Premio keyboard. It's got Windows keys and it's PS2. So I don't know anything about this. I'll do some research, see if it's any good or if it's even worth anything. And you're wondering, why am I showing you keyboards? Well, Logitech G11 gaming keyboard. And it's an older keyboard for sure, but it's a desirable keyboard because it's got all kinds of macros and all that good stuff. And this one is actually, besides being filthy, it's actually in good shape. All the keys still have all their lettering on it. All the buttons and knobs are still there, so I'm going to go through and test this because these still sell for like $50 on eBay. And if this sells for 50 bucks, because I'm not going to keep it, I got Corsair gaming keyboards, but if that sells for 50 bucks, and I do have the wrist rest, so that's complete, that will pay for it 4 times over, and I don't even have to sell anything else. However, I'm selling everything else just because, you know, I wanted to. It's Joe here from the future. I'm in the middle of editing this right now, and yeah, that wasn't English, and that is a build. Don't worry about it. It's awesome. We'll talk about that in another video. But before I finish, the Logitech G11 already sold. Only took 2 days. I got $35. I gave free shipping, cost $10 to ship it, so I got 25 bucks, so I'm up 10 bucks on that one. And the Sound Blaster Audigy Pro 2, or the Audigy whatever it was 2, is currently at $15, and it has 3 different watchers with 2 days left. So all in all, I'm going to be up, what's that going to be? So $10 plus whatever that sells for. So, and those are the only 2 items I've listed so far. So I'll be up 25 bucks after paying for the whole thing. So like I said, keep your eyes open. Jump on deals, especially when there's more things than you actually need, because you can flip it, make all your money back, and wind up with a couple of cool cases and a bunch of parts. So yeah, back to it. And then this assorted box of cables, there's a bunch of these really nice black Asus IDE cables. Again, I'll never use them, but they're nice to have. I can flip those. Some video cables that are different. SATA cables, a lot of SATA cables, and they're brand new, and I could always use like the flat ones when I do my other builds, because I prefer the flat, not the flat with the 90. So those will come in handy. A DVD drive that will be used for something, who knows. Actually, this is just a CD drive. IDE. I'm going to test it. If it works, sometimes people need these and you can make some money off of them. Another older 8-bit USB adapter. It's actually, I think, made for one of these cases that's in here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll see if that's worth selling. And then I'm going to put this down because everything else in here is pretty much worthless. Now before I set it up and we take a look at the computers themselves, let's take a look at a couple of cards that came out of one of them. And first off, we have a Sound Blaster Audigy 2 ZS. Another, you know, $25, $30 card. I'll have to test it. It's PCI, not PCIe or anything like that. So again, if you're doing an older like Windows 98 or XP build, a lot of times these are preferable to onboard audio, if your board even has onboard audio. This was in one of the systems. This is an RX 4670 by HIS. This is the Ice Q model, and it has a extremely heavy heatsink on this thing. I mean extremely heavy. It's AGP, and it has 1 gigabyte of GDDR3 on it. And again, these are $15 to $30 depending on day and buyer and all that stuff. I'll probably throw it up for like 20 bucks or best offer. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not really interested in keeping AGP cards because I don't keep AGP boards. So it's going to go away. And finally, an oldie but goodie, an EVGA 8600 GTS. This is the 1 gigabyte model, and it's kind of cool looking. I've seen these before. I actually have a couple of Quadros, I think, that are based on the 8600 GTS, so they're not exactly very powerful cards, but if it will work with those other ones, maybe I'll try a 3-way SLI. with these because the cores are the same, and if they work, that'll be kind of funny to see if three-way SLI does anything when paired with a 99, oh, you can't see it, a 9900K, which is on my desk back here, because my case still hasn't showed up. Dang it. 10 days, Amazon. Where the hell's my case? I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'm going to throw these up here on the desk, and then I'll come back and we'll take a closer look at them. So let's go from tripod to handheld for this next part. And as you can see, there's two gray cases or silver cases. In this case, this is a Lian Li. Back out. It's a Lian Li PC60 or V60. It is missing this door, however, it does have an extra aluminum door for there. I'm not sure if there's a door for that. I haven't looked inside that carefully. However, this one and this one both have motherboards in them. This one is an 8-bit. He said it was a server case, but it's obviously just a full tower. It's not a server case. It's just something somebody decided to build their gaming rig in. And this was from the time when, yeah, silver was a thing. Probably going to pop that out and put it in this case just so it's completer. Yeah, I used the word completer. Deal with it. But let me go ahead and pop the side open on the Lian Li. We'll take a look inside of that, and then we'll take a look inside the 8-bit. So the first computer inside, it looks pretty familiar to anybody that's been watching like Retro Hardware or LGR. He just built in one of these. It's not as open as people would hope it is, and it's kicking out a lot of dust, which is hurting my lungs because I'm still not fully recovered from that debacle. But let's take a look inside of it. You have a BioStar T-Series F570 or TF570 SLI motherboard. Now what's cool about this one is it does have PCIe and PCI lanes. It also has IDE and SATA on here. So this was during the transition from really basic to better than basic. It even has an extra power add on here for the PCIe lanes. It has a Molex, so you can add power to the lanes to power graphics cards, because some cards could draw extra power from the PCIe lanes themselves. It has an 8-pin power connector for the CPU, which means that this board, when properly cooled, could probably do some decent overclocking. It's an older board, so I probably wouldn't mess with it too much, and that chip is probably not that great. That's an Athlon. So that's an Athlon X2. I'm not sure exactly which version it is. I'm going to boot it up at some point here this week and see what it says it is. As well as it came with 2 gigabytes of ADATA RAM, 800 megahertz DDR2 stuff. So let's go ahead and move this down and away. Put these back so that I don't damage them. Hey Joe, you should probably edit all this out, you know, of you fumbling around like a moron. No, the people want to see it. Being a moron is part of the fun. Yeah, but it kind of takes up a lot of time. What are you else going to do? Yeah, well. Maybe I should melt that case and see how much aluminum I can get. So next up on the viewing block is the 8-bit full-size PC case. Now, it does have the keys, but this one is unlocked already, so we can just kind of do that and pull the door off. Ah, the days of IDE cables. And it's got a variety of different ones. It's got an Asus in here. It's got those round ones, which are nicer because it actually takes those flat cables and winds them up into here, which is a little bit cleaner. The dust coming out of this thing is literally trying to kill me right now, and it's really annoying. So, looking inside of it, it does have an 8-bit motherboard. It's the IC7, which is housing a Pentium 4 with a 3.2 gigahertz clock on it with an 800 megahertz front side bus. And it's got PQI RAM in it with some really nicely polished RAM stick heat spreaders. These are 1 gigabyte sticks as well, and I'm pretty sure being a Pentium 2, Pentium 4, this is also DDR2. So I could take all the RAM out of one and have some DDR2 fun with this thing. This one is the most complete. It had the AGP graphics card in here. This power supply is 8-bit and so full of dust I'm scared of it. Probably explode. I do like this. This one has the removable drive cages. You just slide them in and then you just do that. So it does make taking them out and putting them in easier. But I'll probably just wind up junking this case unless I find somebody that really wants one. I mean, it's complete and it's not in terrible shape. It's got a scratch on the front door, but it's too big to ship on eBay. It's not worth it to ship on eBay. It would probably cost me like $40 to ship it, and it's probably only worth $30. So if one of you guys wants it and you're willing to pay the shipping, let me know, and I'll send it out to you. Because I mean, the Plexi's still intact. You know, the rest of it seems to be pretty good. So, yeah. So that is Computron number 2. And I'm sure the thing that's first coming to your mind is, who cares? It's all junk. Well, number one, saving junk is kind of a fun thing to do. I like to clean it up and make sure it works and then pass it on to somebody else. But number two, $15 for everything except for that. I got more than $15 into that. But $15 for all the stuff I showed you today, which makes this a hell of a deal. Now, the second point of this video is that I wanted to show you guys that it's never a bad idea to take that chance. Send that email, make a phone call, send a text, say, hey, do you still have that stuff? This was up there for 10 days, and it was still there. I'm betting a lot of people saw it after 2 or 3 days and did the same thing that I almost did and go, oh, it must be gone, who cares? And then move on. Because a lot of posters just leave the post up. It just happens. You know, it's not something you think about taking down after you sell the item. I still see that one computer I bought with the GTX 970 and the 4690K in it, or 4570 or whatever it was, for $100. I still see it on Facebook Marketplace because they just never took it down because, you know, they were crackheads. I thought I was going to click on the ad. It was going to say $15 for a power supply, $15 for this, $15. No, it said $15 for the whole lot. Okay. And when I went over there, I didn't have change for a 20, and I'm not going to ask for change for a 20 when I'm getting all this stuff for that. That was just, it was my fault for not getting change, and he deserved it because the man's a legend for, you know, giving this stuff away for $15. And again, to him, it's worthless. To him, it was probably going to go in the trash. But to me, rough estimate, I'm probably going to make about $175 to $200 on all this stuff for taking 20 minutes of my time and driving somewhere. And I get to keep a bunch of stuff. So that's about it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Use my Amazon affiliate links. It'll help the channel grow. We've been growing very well, and I want to see that continue. Let's do it, guys, so I can buy more stuff like this. I'm going to get out of here. I got to clean this stuff up. I got to get all the dust out of it, which is probably going to give me a coughing fit, so I'm going to get a mask. And yeah, I'll just come back and tell you a story or two from the dealership tomorrow. And as always, I'll talk to you later.